Good day, viewers. Today, again, Leo Tolstoy, a very beautiful short story I had chosen. The name of this short story is A Just Judge, written by Leo Tolstoy. This story starts with an Algerian king named Baucus wanted to find out whether or not it was true, as he had been told, that in one of his cities lived a just judge who could instantly discern the truth and from whom no rogue was able to conceal himself. Baucus exchanged clothes with a merchant and went on horseback to city where the judge lived. At the entrance of a city, a cripple approached the king and begged alms of him. Baucus gave him money and was about to continue on his way, but the cripple clung to his clothing. "What do you wish?" asked the king. "Haven't I given you money?" "You gave me alms," said the cripple. "Now grant me one favor. Let me ride with you as far as the city square. Otherwise, the horses and the camels may trample me." Baucus set the cripple behind him on the horse and took him as far as the city square. There he halted his horse, but the cripple refused to dismount. "We have arrived at the square. Why don't you get off?" asked the Baucus. "Why should I?" the beggar replied. "The horse belongs to me. If you are unwilling to return it, we shall have to go to court." Hearing their quarrel, people gathered around them, shouting, "Go to the judge, he will decide between you." Baucus and the cripple went to the judge. There were others in the court, and the judge called upon each one in turn. Before he came to Baucus and the cripple, he heard a scholar and a peasant. They had come to court over a woman. The peasant said she was his wife, and the scholar said she was his. The judge heard them both, remained silent for a moment, and then said, "Leave the woman here with me and come back tomorrow." When they had gone, a butcher and an oil merchant came before the judge. The butcher was covered with blood and the oil merchant with oil. As in his hand the butcher held some money and the oil merchant held unto butcher's hand. "I was buying oil from this man," the butcher said, "and when I took out my purse to pay him, he seized me by the hand and tried to take all my money from me. That is why we have come to you, I holding onto my purse and he holding onto my hand. But the money is mine and he is a thief." Then the oil merchant spoke. "This is not true," he said. "The butcher came to me to buy oil, and after I had poured him a full jug, he asked me to change a gold piece of him. When I took out my money and placed it on a bench, he seized it and tried to run off. I caught him by the hand, as you see, and brought him here to you." The judge remained silent for a moment, then said, "Leave the money here with me and come back tomorrow." When his turn came, Baucus told what had happened. The judge listened to him and then asked the beggar to speak. "All that he said is untrue," said the beggar. "I was sitting on the ground and I was rode through the city, asked me to let him ride with me. I set him on my horse and took him where he wanted to go. But when we got here, he refused to get off and said that the horse was his and is not true." The judge thought for a moment, then said, "Leave the horse here with me and come back tomorrow." The following day, many people gathered in the court to hear the judge's decisions. First came the scholar and the peasant. Take your wife, the judge said to the scholar, and the peasant shall be given 50 strokes of the lash. Then the scholar took his wife, and the peasant was given his punishment. Then the judge called the butcher. The money is yours, he said to him, and pointing to the oil merchant, he said, give him 50 strokes of the lash. He next called Baucis and the cripple. Would you be able to recognize your horse among 20 others? He asked Baucis. I would, he replied. And you, he asked the cripple. I would, said the cripple. Come with me, the judge said to Baucis. They went to the stable. Baucis instantly pointed out to his horse among the 20 other. Then the judge called the cripple to the stable and told him to point out the horse. The cripple recognized the horse and pointed to it. The judge then returned to his seat. Take the horse, it is yours, he said to Baucis. Give the beggar 50 strokes of lash. When the judge left the court and went home, Baucis followed him. What do you want? Asked the judge. Are you not satisfied with my decision? I am satisfied, said Baucis. But I should like to learn how you knew that the woman was the wife of the scholar, but the money belonged to the butcher, and that the horse was mine and not the beggar's. This is how I knew about the woman in the morning. I sent for her and I said, please fill my ink well. She took the ink well, washed it quickly, deftly, and filled it with ink. Therefore, it was work she was accustomed to. If she had been the wife of peasant, she would not have known how to do it. This showed me that the scholar was telling the truth. And this is how I know about the money. I put it in the cup to fill of water, and the morning I looked to see if any oil had risen to the surface. If the money had belonged to the oil merchant, it would have been soiled by his oily hand. There was no oil on the water, therefore the butcher was telling the truth. It was more difficult to find out about the horse. The cripple recognized it among 21, even as you did. However, I did not take you both to stable to see which of you knew the horses, but to see which of the horses knew. When you approached it, it turned his head and stretched out his neck toward you. But when the cripple touched it, it laid back its ears and lifted on hoof. Therefore I knew that where is the horse's real master. Then Baucis said to the judge, I am not a merchant, but the king Baucis. I came here in order to see if it is said of you is true. I see now that you are a wise judge. Ask whatever you wish of me, and you shall have it as reward. I need no reward, replied the judge. I am content that my king has praised me. The short story, A Wise Judge, a Just Judge by Leo Tolstoy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this short story. Thank you very much.